Let's talk about one of the core features that makes Mosaic so powerful: classes. Classes control how your elements look and behave, and they let you reuse the same styles across multiple elements without rebuilding them every time. In Mosaic, there are three main types of classes: element, utility, and custom. Element classes define the base look of an element, like a button. Each element has one by default, and some even have a few extra built-in options. But it doesn't stop there. Every element class can have subclasses to further refine them, like primary or secondary. They are like a variation of your main design, a way to create different styles without breaking the connection to the element class. And here's the best part: subclasses can stack, so you can create as many as you want for finer control. Utility classes work a bit differently. They're not tied to a single element. They're reusable styles you can apply anywhere, like border radius or box shadow. And yes, utilities can have subclasses too. Finally, the custom class. It's unique to a single element, perfect for quick one-off tweaks when you want to change just one thing without affecting anything else. Every element in Mosaic starts with an element class. It's basically the default style that defines how it looks. You can then refine it using element subclasses. For example, a button element might have primary and secondary subclasses, and you can even add another layer, like L for a larger version. Subclasses extend the base element class, fine-tuning its style and overriding its parent settings when needed. They're stronger than the element class, which means they take priority whenever both define the same property. And yep, you can keep layering subclasses if you want to get more specific variations. Some elements even have multiple element classes to pick from, but only one can be active at a time. All right, let's see how that looks in action. I'll click this button, and in the top right, you'll see it's rocking the button element class. That class defines the base look for every button with that same class. So if I change the padding here, boom. Every button updates at once. Pretty powerful, right? Let's undo that because that spacing didn't really age well. Now let's try changing the background color. And just like that, both buttons update instantly. But I don't need it, so let's just quickly undo that. Now let's open the class dropdown and add a new subclass called primary. Any changes I make now only apply to this subclass. Let's change the background color again. See? Only the primary button changed. Hover over the subclass name and you can even see exactly which styles it's changing. The same goes for the element class too. Now let's select the other button and apply our new primary subclass. Hover over it and you'll see the live preview on the canvas. Perfect. Now let's switch things up. This button currently uses a custom class. That means any change we make affects only this element. If I adjust the padding, just this one button reacts. Now watch this. We can actually create a subclass from these local changes. Let's call it L. All those edits we just made are now stored in this new subclass. Let's add it to our other button. Up here on the toolbar, you'll see the class selector where you can switch element classes or apply a subclass in seconds. Kind of hard to see what's going on with that drop down in the way, right? Let's move the toolbar over a bit. Perfect. Now we've got plenty of room to work. Now, if I switch the element class to link, you can see how the button changes instantly. But let's switch back to button, as that's what we're here for. See that stack of classes? That's the full style chain working in real time. All right, next up, utility classes. Utility classes are small, reusable styles you can apply to any element. Things like border radius or box shadow. They're perfect for quick, consistent changes without creating a new subclass every time. They're lightweight, flexible, and super fast to use. Great for fine-tuning layouts or reusing common styles across your site. Let's make one together. Back to the class list. This time, choose Utility. I'll make one for the border radius. Let's set the base radius to 12 pixels. And now we can create a utility subclass. I'll call it L. Let's set this one to 16 pixels. Now we can apply that utility class to another button. Can't find it immediately? No worries, just use the search bar. And there it is, the base 12 pixel version and the L subclass at 16 pixels. Click it and bam, radius applied. Once I deselect it, the change becomes super clear. The active outline was getting in the way, so now you can actually see what's happening. Now, what happens if you remove a class? Let's try it. If we remove the last subclass, like the L variant, it falls back to the class above it. But if we remove the main utility class, the whole chain goes poof. Let's revisit the custom class quickly. A custom class is unique to a single element. It isn't shared anywhere else. You'll use it when you need a quick, one-off style tweak that doesn't really fit into an element or utility class. It's perfect for those small, precise adjustments. Total freedom, no strings attached. If you hover over it in the class list, you'll notice it's completely empty right now. Let's adjust the padding first. Now when you hover over it, you'll see the top and bottom padding values listed. Next, let's change the background and border radius too. And just as expected, only this button updates on the canvas. Alright, now that you've seen how classes work, let's talk about managing them. Up in the top right, you'll find the class management area. Let's duplicate the primary class and make a secondary one. Now let's change it a bit. A new background color first, then matching text to go with it. We can even rename it anytime. Let's call it light instead. And since we made it from primary, it inherits everything perfectly. It even keeps the L subclass. You can also connect your Mosaic classes directly to custom CSS. Let's add one called Dive In. Now, any button using the light subclass will also include the Dive In CSS class added to it. So if we check it out on the front end and apply some custom styles using the class as the selector, it will work just fine. Need to reuse a design fast? Just copy and paste styles between classes. It's one of those tiny features that saves hours. And if you ever change your mind, Undo, as always, has your back. You can also manage classes directly in the Settings panel. All your existing classes are listed there, each with quick actions like reset, rename, or delete. Let's reset one, and there it is. It's back to its default styles. Or delete it completely if you no longer need it. And just like that, the subclass disappears from our button. Time to see who wins when multiple class types are in play. When it comes to strength, think of it like a hierarchy. The lower you go, the stronger the class becomes. It starts with the element class as your base. Element subclasses can override it. Utilities sit above those. Utility subclasses override their own base utility. And the custom class is the strongest layer, overriding everything above it. Alright, let's recap what we just covered. You learned about the 3 types of classes: element classes, utility classes, and custom classes. Element classes define the structure and core style of each element, your buttons, headings, and so on. They're the foundation. Utility classes are your shortcuts, reusable styles you can apply anywhere for things like border radius or box shadow. And custom classes give you flexibility, great for one-off tweaks when something needs its own unique look. That was the full walkthrough of classes. Thanks for watching. And if this helped, hit that thumbs up, drop your questions in the comments, and join our community using the link below. We'll see you in the next one.